Hi everyone, it's Allison from Fathom 5 Tarot, and I'm here to do Simon from the Hermit's Cave, his hashtag about getting to know your tarot YouTuber. There's a list of prompts from A to Z that I will replicate and put below my video. I don't have that many followers, not like somebody like Simon, but it looked fun, and it's always fun doing questionnaires, so I thought, why not? And hopefully it'll be fun for you as well as you watch it. Yeah, it's I'm just in my slobby clothes. It has been a week, you guys. Oh my lordy. Okay, so how this works is, if you look at the prompts below, you can see that it's by the alphabet. So for each letter, there's a prompt, and there's some hilarious cheats to get yourself through the alphabet. So you'll see. A is an easy one. Age. Well, so it should be easy. I spent all last year furious that I was 47, and then it was recently pointed out to me that I'm actually 46. This is what happens when you get to midlife. I found is that you don't know how old you are. It's a weird phenomenon that I remember my parents used to talk about, and it's true. It's true. Anyway, I will turn 47 this year. I am not yet 47, and I'm thrilled to have this whole extra year of life that I had forgotten that I had. Favorite book. Wow. This is such a hard one. Oh gosh. I somehow missed that one. I love so many books. I'm a real reader. I'm an English teacher, so it's really hard for me to choose. I love Shakespeare. I love teaching Shakespeare's plays. I love The Great Gatsby. I love teaching The Great Gatsby. It's just such a winner with senior high school kids. I guess maybe I will. I was really moved at the time, and I should reread it, by A Prayer for Owen Meany by John Irving. And I guess why that one stands out to me is that years ago I had a boyfriend who loved Irving, and he read all of Irving's books, and I just could never get into them. Hotel New Hampshire, World According to Garp, Cider House. Well, I didn't mind Cider House Rules. I tried a bunch, and I just wasn't into it. And then we broke up. We were really young. And then years later, I ran into him and said, "Oh, you'll be so pleased. I found a John Irving book that I just love, A Prayer for Owen Meany." And he said, "Oh, I hated that one." But if you've read it, you know that the titular character, Owen Meany, speaks in a very specific voice. And I actually got to go to a reading that Irving gave where he did the voice that he imagined that's always portrayed in capital letters in the novel. So I guess I'll say that. But that's like asking me about my favorite deck, which I know you're going to later, Simon, but it's tough. I'm not doing it. Other than that, but I'll say Prayer for Owen Meany for now. And 5 seconds after I finish this video, I'll think of 50 more. The career is C. I'm laughing because the first part of the prompt is what you wanted to be when you were a kid and what it actually is now. So what I wanted to be when I was a kid, I wanted to be something different every day, like many kids did. I remember very specifically wanting to be a horse racing jockey after I saw The Black Stallion, which was one of my favorite books when I was a kid. And then I saw the movie, which is magical. If you've never seen it, by Francis Ford Coppola, you must. It's amazing. And I also wanted to be the girl on the top of the cheerleading pyramid because we went to see a lot of football games, and I thought that would be the coolest thing ever. And I am a teacher now, so I was neither of those things. And there's a prompt later where you're gonna hear why I'm neither of those things. Dream. My dream. Is that dreams I have? Or is it the dream? I should have looked at this list more closely. My dream. My immediate dream. I'm in Canada, but my immediate dream for both Canada and the United States is that and the world is that we can have an election with thoughtful, principled, reasonable candidates in all parties. That's my dream right now. My dream for myself is to have the motivation to enrich my life and not sort of sit around and let things pass me by. I also have very vivid dreams as a dreamer. I dream almost every night. I always remember my dreams. So whatever that prompt means, that's my answer. My essential item. My phone, I guess. Ooh, I don't really like that. Although I never pull it out during the day. As a matter of fact, I went crazy this afternoon trying to leave work because I thought that I had lost my phone, but I left it in my car all day because my days are so busy, and you're a teacher, you can't be out on your phone all the time. But because my husband works out of town and is gone anywhere from 2 to 5 days a week, it really keeps us in touch, and we text and talk all the time in the evenings. So I guess it would be that. Although part of me really hates that answer because I don't love phones. Favorite RWS deck. Now, okay, so you should really watch Simon's video because of course, he came up with a gorgeous Rider-Waite-Smith deck that I've never seen before. And I have probably 8 Rider-Waite-Smith decks, maybe more. I should do a video where I count them up. I can't believe there's ones that I've never heard of, because there are some that I want to acquire, like the Golden Rider, that just I haven't been able to yet. And this is I've talked about this so many times on my channel. It's a real toss-up between 2 for me, because it's the first deck, which I found at a really emotionally important time in my life. There's a whole video about why I came to tarot and why I still do tarot. But I decided that one will always be so special. If the house were burning down, that's probably the one I would grab because of that sentimental meaning. But in terms of the aesthetics of a deck, I like the Centennial. Everybody knows it's the muted colors, it's the good cardstock. I love these backs. I love the simplicity of the backs. I love the color of the backs. I love the way they shuffle. I love how thick they are. I do love everything about them. But there are some close contenders there. What a great deck. And this is also the tarot deck, like the Rider-Waite-Smith. If I had to grab one the rest of my life, I'm a pretty faithful purist. G, gold or silver? I like silver colored gold. I like white gold. That's my favorite. I love silver. I almost never wear gold. It doesn't look good on my skin tone, I don't think. It doesn't draw me in. But I am allergic in some cases to silver, so I can't wear a lot of actual silver. If I have a ring on for the day, I have to take it off at night or it'll give me irritations, and I can't wear earrings of almost any kind anymore. So thank God it's not the 80s. Okay, so H is height. I am 5'10.5". I'm a tall girl. I come from a super tall family. My dad is 6'6". My brother is 6'3", and my mom was 5'8". So for her generation, that was really, really tall. And this is why I'm not a horse racing jockey, nor am I the cheerleader on the top of the pyramid. So I would always, from the time I was in 2nd grade, I would always play the parent in whatever school play we were doing, or the teacher, because I had to be the adult because I was the tallest one. And I'm taller than my husband. I'm a tall girl. That's how that goes. My ideal day would probably be at my cottage that my husband inherited from his parents, who built it up in sort of central eastern, no, I don't even know, central western Ontario, I guess. I call it up north, but Ontario is so huge that it's not really, if you look at Ontario, it's still in the south of Ontario. But it's up north for us. And actually the name of this channel comes from a place up where our cottage is. So J is joke, funniest. I don't have a ton of jokes that I call to hand. I have some maybe offensive jokes that I'm not going to tell. But I do love, here is such a juvenile joke. What did the snail say when he was sitting on top of the turtle? Whee! There you go. K, kids. Yes, got one. I'm a stepmother, but I've been a stepmother now for, I was trying to figure this out the other day, almost 12 years. So she's been in my life for ages, and I've been in her life, and it's the greatest, and I love her so much. And every once in a while when I think about things like genetics, I'm like, oh, what do I have to think about for her? Like, what does she need to know about my family health history? And the answer is nothing. But I forget because she's just so much a part of my life, which is the greatest. I love it. Living arrangements. I live in a townhouse, and it's awesome because people shovel our snow and mow the grass, and so we can walk away from it for a couple weeks at a time and go up to the cottage. And then our cottage is It's not very big. It's quite small, but we sort of put all of our effort into that place, and then this place can just sort of take care of itself. Marseille deck, fave. Don't know. Don't have any. I'm so Rider-Waite-Smith faithful and monogamous. I should branch out. I just got a new Lenormand that I'm super excited about. I did a review of that, the Aurum Lenormand. Maybe if you're interested, I'll link that in the cards. And I'm just learning about that, but I don't really understand even what Marseille is or what to do with it, so I don't have any. Nicknames, Allie. A lot of people call me Allie, and a lot of people call me Allison, and they never deviate. It's one or the other. And my family calls me Al, and nobody else calls me Al. Oracle. I've talked many times about my Oracle issues. I don't really have, I don't really get into them too much. I have 5 Oracle decks, and actually all those I do really love. My top one is still Chris Ann's Sacred Creators, which came as a huge surprise to me. I just thought, I sort of ordered it on a whim because the shipping was cheap because I live really close to her, and I thought, I just really wanted to support her work. I thought she was super groovy, and I love it. I think, going to add one more Oracle deck to my collection because I've lusted after it for ages. And it's finally available again for pre-order, and that's the Connected and Free Oracle from Inner Hue. I keep coming back to look at it, and I hope it's not one that just sits on my shelf, but it's just so pretty, and it really goes with my aesthetic and what I like. P, passionate about. I am passionate about social justice, and I'm passionate about animals and taking care of animals, and I'm a vegetarian/vegan. I say vegetarian because I've got, again, another whole thing about how I'm not a perfect vegan and blah, blah, blah. But I'm passionate about my family and my work. I'm passionate about a lot of things, actually. Yeah. Quote. So this is, when I thought about favorite book and what I chose, while Prayer for Owen Meany may not be my all-time favorite book, it has one of my all-time favorite first lines from a novel, because I was just sucked in by this sentence that was just like, asked so many questions, and I can quote it. So here it is. I should say Owen Meany is not the narrator of this book. The narrator is another character. And here's the sentence. I am doomed to remember a boy with a wrecked voice, not because of his voice, or because he was the smallest person I ever knew, or even because he was the instrument of my mother's death, but because he is the reason I believe in God. Like, you can think of a better first sentence than that, and I can't. And there are lots of sort of inspirational life quotes, of course, as well, that I love, love, love. But that one sentence made me think, okay, I can read John Irving. And it was true. Relationship status, married to an awesome, awesome dude. I got married pretty late. We're about to celebrate our 9th anniversary. So I didn't get married to my late 30s, but he's the greatest, and I love him. Season. Oh, it's so tough. So I live in a place that has pronounced seasons, right? So right this weekend, apparently it's going to be -20 where I am, Celsius. And then it goes in the summer up to 30, 35 degrees and everything in between. So I love the change of seasons. I love every second of every year. I've just been loving winter this year. Sometimes I get sick of winter, but I feel like I never will get sick of this winter. It hasn't been insanely cold for long stretches of time, which helps. But if I had to pick one, fall. I just love watching the leaves turn. I just love the smell of fall, the activities of fall, the colors of fall, the crisp weather of fall. And the year that I retire from teaching, because it's always a very busy time for me going back to school. So the year that I retire, I'm just going to be like outside all day, every day, reading books, drinking hot chocolate, walking dogs. That year, although I'll be very sad probably that year too. I'm very nostalgic, but I love fall. T, tarot, first and last. My first tarot was Rider-Waite-Smith. I already talked about that. I'm just looking now. I can't remember. I brought Whispering Spirits out as my last, like my most recently acquired. But now that I think about it, while I opened this one up last, I think the one that came last in my house was, oh geez, I can only think of Sacred Creators. That's not it. That's not it. Carrie Mellon's deck. Spacious Tarot. What's the matter with me? But this is the last one I opened because I opened it for in bulk just because it's like such a springy deck. So the days are getting longer here. It doesn't feel like spring, but it's starting to just, you can see the light coming back. So it's probably my last. I'll count this as my last, even though I think it came to my house first before the Spacious, although I love the Spacious too. Upset. What upsets me the most? The state of politics. I'm not going to harp on that too long. That really upsets me. And I don't like it when people are excluded. That really upsets me for any reason. One-on-one, when I see things like that at school, I really try. I think that's why I became a teacher, because I know how it feels to be excluded or feel shy or not feel cool. And I just, whatever I can do to help kids with that. Vlog. Which are you most proud of and which is your most popular? Is the V one. Oh gosh, I'm not a super, I mean, I don't edit. I don't know how to do anything. I guess my proudest one, I guess, will be my first one because I was super nervous and I had to record it like twice because I didn't know what I was doing. But I did it and people like commented. It was for 31 Days of Tarot 3 years ago, my first one. So that was pretty good. By far, my most popular was one that I almost didn't make, commenting on Elise Morgan's withdrawal from the community and just my thoughts about paradigm shifts. And I actually made a follow-up to it because I thought about it a little more and I had one more thing to say that I did feel was important. So the gist of it was like, you do you. Yeah, and that one got a lot of views because it was very top. I was sort of overwhelmed by how many views it got because who's going to care what I think? I just had this idea. So anyway, I'll link it in case you're interested in watching that. My weakness, W. Oh, so many weaknesses. I can be a bit of a procrastinator, which is not good. I have this ridiculous thing where, my father loves sweets and my mother loved salty things and I love everything. like sweet and salty, all of it, which doesn't feel fair. If you get to like only really like one thing, my brother does not like sweets at all. He just does not eat sweets. He's a salty guy and I just, so much temptation. I don't like it. X is X-rated. Tell us something naughty you've done. And it's like, can I think of anything? I'm such a boring rule follower. I get really anxious when I don't follow people's rules or I feel like I'm gonna hurt somebody's feelings or, God, I'm boring. Well, this is unintentional. Sorry, I suck at this one. It wasn't intentionally naughty, but it is something bad that I did. Unintentionally, but there was a cat wandering around my house and he was really skinny and we were pretty new to the area and he looked really sick and I couldn't see a tag or anything. And so I scooped him up and took him to the Humane Society only to find out that he looked so sick and skinny because he was like 16 and he belonged to my neighbor. So I basically catnapped my neighbor's cat. Like I should have just like asked around first, but I was like, we'll save cat and just like stole my neighbor's cat. And they were a bit angry with me at first. Yesteryear, your favorite year so far and why? Well, this one. I don't know. Every year is a gift. I have momentous things that have happened in my life. I guess maybe the year that I got married, solidifying this family with my stepdaughter and my husband. That's a big one in 2011. And, oh gosh, but I don't know. I like to look forward and have hope in the years to come. So I'll say 2020. And Z is, I'm Canadian. Z is Zen. What do I do to relax, stay calm? Walking my dogs walking in general is hugely therapeutic to me. I used to walk to work, which I loved because I lived in Toronto, which is a great big city. So I was able to walk It took about half an hour longer in the winter to walk to work, and I loved it. I would work out so many of my tasks I had to do that day were done by the time I'd thought about them for half an hour on my walk. I used to work on school plays, and I'd have choreographed a number after a week of walking to and from work and just listening to the soundtrack of the play. And so like I just love it. And and when you have dogs, you have to go out. You have to go out and walk and be in nature and engage with your community. And so that is my zen. And I hope to have dogs for as long as I'm healthy enough to walk them a bunch, because they give me, well, I mean, they're so awesome, but also that practice, that daily practice of walking, that even if the weather's garbage, you've got to do it. It's just so great. So those are my answers for the alphabet. I hope you enjoyed it, and I can't wait to watch everybody else's. Simon's is great. That's the first one I've seen, so I'm responding right when I've seen it. And yeah, I hope you will do it, and I will let me know if you have, and I'll watch yours too. I'm really interested to learn all about you. Have a great night.